halo, people. I'm putting my head in the halo. OOTD today. OOTD today. This 60 years old, dressing like a Barbie doll. And you know what? Got the smiley face and 4K leggings on. I don't know what kind of shoes these are. Lots of extensions because I cut off my hair because a guy was said I need to be punished because I was disrespectful. I guess that's what a woman needs, to have her hair all shaved off because she's disrespectful. But I got a reading from Pam Georgel, and she said, I hope my voice is okay, you guys. Let's see if I stick in this audio. Maybe it'll be a little better for you. Does this help? Let's see if this does. Does this help? This is a whispering video now. Is that better? Is that better for you? Get the microphone up here. Oh, where's the microphone? Where's the microphone? So let's get a little better lighting. Hi, you guys. So Pam Georgel said that I got a reading from her, and she basically said, get a little more lighting, you guys. A little better lighting. And at my age, you need all the lighting you can get. That better? I think that's a little better. Let's see if it's warmer. Warmer, 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 warmest. Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it. So basically, she said, let's see if I go like this and brighten it up. Oh, that's even better. There we go. Okay, we need light. We need light. So basically, she said that you've got your finger on the pulse, and because you were kind of ahead of the game with, God coming in and guiding me and putting in the work, that you're going to be ahead of everybody else. Well, temporarily. So, because I have my finger on the pulse of what people want. And I think what people want is freedom of expression. We don't want to be shamed for being old, and it's called ageism. We don't want to be ashamed for saying, hey, you're 60 and you need to look 60 and you need to humble yourself because you're trying to be God. And I realized, no, God's glory is in our expression. If we feel like God is coming through us, we're not trying to be God. We are the expression of God, and He takes pleasure in whatever we weigh. If we're ugly, if we're stupid, if we're dorky, if we're fake, if we're a star, or if we're not a star, as long as we're not hurting other people, like children, like babies. Have some iced tea here, some yum yum iced tea with lemon. So good. Then we don't need to be meek to prove that we're worthy of God, that God's going to smile on us if we're meek and lowly. And that was written many, many years ago by a man who was transcribing God's messages. And I'm psychic too. I get messages and sometimes I'll misread them. Or I read it to serve myself. And women should submit themselves to their husbands. I have talked to a lot of women and they say, you know what, my husband treats me as an equal. If I don't want to have sex, he says, okay. We don't, especially if you have babies. You want to sleep, you're tired. It's like, I even saw this big pregnant woman. I mean, it's hard to hold your pee, hard to breathe, and you're like, sometimes you love your man so much, you want to give him pleasure even when you're having a huge bowling ball stuffed inside your body. I mean, that's the power of a woman and her givingness to her man. As far as these old ideas where women put the turtle around their head, like a little peeping turtle where they're all blanketed up, like, I'll just put this on just to demonstrate, we'll just turtle ourselves out, where we burka ourselves up. Shame. Women have been shamed of their hair, and they pull it all in, and they, it's not even like a nice little bonnet like this. It's just, we've all seen it. This is just not, that looks like a cute hat. It's not even cute like that. Let's demonstrate what it really looks like, right? We've all seen it. It's really sad. A woman's shame is her hair, and it's like, you better cover that up and be submissive. I mean, this is like what this kind of tyranny is about, and I don't think any of us want this. I mean, does this look good on me? And cut your hair because you need to be punished? Because you were offensive to us and you showed us disrespect? Is that what you... I mean, at least this woman, when she takes her burqa off, or her veil, they call this a veil, it's really a strangled tablecloth. It's like this kind of mentality it doesn't fly, you know. And even if this is fake, because I did cut my hair, I thought this guy loved me. I thought this guy wanted me. And I was fooled because he didn't want me. He had other affairs, other women, and I was just gullible, like I've always am. I'm learning about gaslighting. I'm learning about narcissism. And gaslighting is when they make you feel unheard, invalidated, dumb. They gang up on you with other people covering themselves, like being really nice, picking up the tab, being really wonderful to everybody else, and saying, you know, she's just nuts because I'm being really nice to her. Don't listen to her. So, you know, this kind of thing. I had an ex-boyfriend like that. Definitely was even my husband was like, he's so nice. How could you say he's being mean? I've never seen that side of him. It was like, yeah, well, let me tell you, where did all these bruises come from? You know, and there's nothing wrong with a little dominant sex in the bed, but when it comes outside of the bed, you need to have equality. And yeah, and I heard from my psychic that these people, as I move up in positions of power because of my movie and stuff, that these people that want to bring women into a state of meekness, and I mean, even President Trump, who, don't get me wrong, I am the biggest Trump fan in the world. This guy saved our life. I was in tears because, I mean, I hate to say even anything bad about him because he suffered so greatly and he's sacrificed so much and his life is a hellhole. He's lost his freedom. He's lost everything and he's miserable. And so, you know, but the one thing I mean, just because somebody suffers greatly for humanity doesn't mean they can't be held accountable for something that isn't right. And the thing that I think that he said that wasn't right was, and he even said, oh, they're going to make fun of me for saying this. But yeah, we're going to make fun of you for saying it because it's stupid. Implying that women do the laundry because they're on the low end of the totem pole. It's like, well, women do the laundry. It's like whether they needed their water. He's talking about water, but what he's really saying is women do the laundry. Women, submit yourself to the men. Well, in my house, everybody does their own laundry because I'm working. Now, if a woman's taking care of the babies, maybe she's tired and she needs help with the laundry. I mean, it's a lot to take care of babies. Maybe the man has got 2 jobs and he's worked his ass off and he needs to have the laundry done. But common sense tells you every situation's different. There's not just, you're a woman, you do the laundry. I'm a man, I'm not doing it. I don't care. If you took care of the babies, you stayed up all night long. You know, there's a girl that said her husband was disability. He's around the house, but he won't help. Even though he's laying around the house all day long, he's a man, he shouldn't have to help. And she's working as a dental assistant or a dental hygienist. And so she's doing all of the chores and everything, and he's not helping. And he's miserable, and he's abusive, and he's angry. So, you know, you just have to really look and say, ageism, putting women in boxes and saying, get your hair up, get it back, get it back. You know, it's like, tie your hair back. You don't want to be, get it up, get it in a bun, get nice and meek. It's like, get that hair back, get it burqa'd back, you know, where they're looking at a thing or they've got a muzzle on. I mean, women have been dumbed down and their power stripped. And even a 60-year-old woman, I mean, I'm not perfect. I look bony, I look wrinkled, I don't look right. But it doesn't matter. It's my self-expression. If a woman wants to cut off her hair, God bless it, cut it off. But if you don't, you shouldn't be forced to. If you want to wear makeup, to say, oh, well, now you're part of Satan. You're part of evil. You bleached your hair. You want to be pretty. You want to be prettier than everybody else. Who's prettier? Maybe the brunette that's 13 years old or 15 or 21. Maybe they're way prettier, but you like blonde hair. It doesn't make you a devil or a sinful because you like blonde hair. Some guys go, I met guys, I was a dancer, and they said, honey, you are so pretty, but I'm looking for a brunette. He didn't find me attractive. He didn't care about my blonde hair. It's like beauty's in the eye of the beholder. And if you want to be blonde without them making you into Satan. The insanity of that. The insanity of saying the only way you're valid is if you're in a little frumpy little skirt with a frumpy little hairstyle and no makeup. Now you're valid. Are you wearing that as a badge of humility? And you've got the 5-star badge of, I'm humble, therefore I'm a good person. And whenever you look on a person that's a stripper or a hooker or a sexy woman with her boobs out, and they're going, look at that, she's not humble. Well, then there's a judgmental person there, and you can't help but be judgmental. When I look at the frumpy person, I'm going to think, boy, she doesn't do much with herself. The honest truth is, I think everybody should be what they want to be. Maybe it wouldn't be what I would want to do with myself if I was them, But I like everybody to have the freedom to express themselves. And that's the key. Freedom. That's what we got out of oppressiveness. You know, in Japan, they have 5 hairstyles. No, 3. You're allowed to have 3 hairstyles. You certainly aren't allowed to bleach it. And it's really about being perfunctory and about being of service to the government. And here, are we of service to the government? Or are we just a free spirit expressing ourselves? I look at clothes as art. I put art on the body. On the walls. I create the art. But I also create art for myself, for my leggings. This is a smiley face. It's got hearts for eyes. I don't know if you can see the smiley face. It's got hearts for eyes. And it's all pink and yellow with smiley faces and some crying too. And so it's like, and this sparkly, am I sparkling? Am I trying to be God because I'm trying to be young, look young? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Oh yeah, that's not authentic. So, is that authentic? That's a wall. Should it just be a wall because it is a wall, or is it okay to decorate the wall? Is it okay to decorate the body? I say yes. And the psychic that I listened to said, you have your finger more on the pulse, and therefore you're going to be ahead. And this power that I have is from God, this power and this confidence. And even the looks that I have are from God, inspired by God. Each one of us a unique butterfly. You be you. And if you being you, I have to admit, when I had my hair cut and I had it brown, I didn't have to worry about roots. I didn't have to worry about, I did look at the girls that were sexy or even had like blonde hair or even shoulder length hair. Mine was, I'm more humble than they are. You know, it's like, we can always twist it in our mind and say, well, when I was young and I would see an old lady and she was driving a Mercedes or whatever and I was in a gross car, I'd be like, yeah, but I'm young. And if I'm an old lady and I'm rich or whatever, it's like, yeah, they may be young, but they aren't as powerful as I am, or they aren't as famous as I am, or they don't have as accomplished as much. We're always competing in our minds. But if we just say, they're on their path, I'm on my path, and it's okay. It's okay. I haven't been wearing earrings, so it's kind of fun for me to give myself permission to wear earrings. This big cutting of my hair and dyeing my hair dark, while it's been extremely brutal on me, extremely brutal, also made me grow as a person. I love President Trump. I do. I love President Trump. If you're listening, I love you, okay? I'm on your side. We're all in this together. And we're all growing and learning from one another. I have learned from President Trump. I have learned from JFK. JFK's alive. Yes, he is. His son is vice president. Yes, he is. And I love him. I love them all. The Q team is awesome. They're here for us. And they are working for us and listening to us as the people. And I'm speaking to them with honor and respect for them and them for me. Because they're listening. They aren't dictators. They're listening to us. If we speak our mind, if we speak from our heart, if we speak from love, and if it's truly the highest and the best, it will come about to be. So I stand for freedom of women, equality for women, and freedom to dress as sexy as you want to, as long as it's within the law. Like right now, the law says you can't show your nipples. If you're young and your nipples kind of show through, I don't think they're going to arrest you. Now, if your vagina is sticking out, maybe so. Nobody wants to sit in a chair that's a little slimy. Excuse me. And if you're into kinky stuff, kinky sex or whatever, as long as it's not hurting the other person. If it's two consenting adults. But I think you really have to think, is this going to bring about healing and wholeness, even if it's sexual gratification? There's some pretty kinky stuff out there. It's like, when does it become detrimental to the soul and the spirit? I used to have guys that wanted me to talk down to them, and it really hurt me. It hurt me to hurt them. But they wanted it. Call me a bad loser, that I'm not good enough to be with you. And I think, you're a bad loser, you're not. And then when I'd walk away, I'd go, that really hurt me. I cannot do that. No amount of, whatever. It's not worth it. So anyway, I'm excited. I'm excited about what the future holds. I love Q. I love Q. Here's something for Q. Q is you. I love Q. I love Q. And Q has fought hard and long for us. We're very grateful, and I'm very grateful. So I'm going to make some lunch. I'm working on my tapping for building my confidence back. I mean, you know, when you got people telling you you're not okay, your hair's not okay, your makeup's not okay, your dress is not okay, your necklace isn't okay, you know, you are evil, you want to be God, you're trying to get bigger and more glamorous than God. You're just like, okay, I'll cut my hair. No, now that's not enough. Now you need to be punished because you were disrespectful to us. Oh, I'll shave my head. It's like, wait a minute. What kind of crazy narcissistic, you know, a punishment? This is getting into some really weird stuff when people treat other people like that. I'm not saying I'm perfect. God knows I'm not. Like, I am critical of others, especially if they're trying to push their ideas onto me. You know, I think an older woman can work hard to create a look of aesthetics. It might not be perfect. It might have tape that when the wind blows, you see the tape, or, you know, the wrinkles show and they look kind of rickety and gross. And it's like, but so what? They're still expressing themselves. They're still reaching for, like, what happened when my hair was all chopped off and brown, and I didn't wear dresses, and I didn't wear anything feminine. I couldn't even wear a pretty robe to the bathroom. I'd look at Instagram and I just felt like the undead. And I don't think women ever have to give up being beautiful. Even if they're 90 years old, they can still put on some pretty lipstick, put on a little bit of eyeshadow, maybe put a few hair extensions in, maybe gray hair extensions, maybe brown. Well, maybe they want their hair coal black. Whatever. You be you. You be you. And God smiles on you and loves you just the way you are. He loves me just like this, even though this is fake. Even though I want to get attention. Get attention, he says. Even if it's like, whoa, what the hell is that? If that's all you get, then that's what you get. And if others go, I love you, you're really crazy, you're really adorable, I love what you wear, I never know what you're going to wear. Thank you. That gives me freedom to be me. And you don't have to wear anything but cut-off shorts and a t-shirt because that makes you happy. And I love that. Good for you. There's really a part of me inside that likes that too. That was that as a kid. I was a teenager tomboy. Not even a teenager, a young teen. I was an adolescent tomboy in 4th grade, 3rd and 4th, 5th, all the way up from 5 years old to probably a teenager, 13, 14. I started to get into my femininity. But yeah, so that was nice to hear Pam Georgelle say that I'm going to be listened to, that I'm going to rise to the top because I have my finger on the pulse of what people want. People want freedom to express themselves. And if you're not a match for the man, it doesn't mean he's wrong. It doesn't mean you're wrong. It just means you don't fit together. Sometimes two powerful people don't fit together because they're too powerful and one's not willing to get, you know, to be with another person, you kind of got to give up half of what you want. Well, I want to make movies and I want to make art and I want to be free and out there in the world. And maybe this person is sequestered and wants to be, I don't know, the king, and wants the woman just to be there just for him. Give up your career, give up your art, give up your fashion industry, and give up moving around and just be there for me. Let that be enough for you. Well, the psychic said I'd be very isolated, very miserable, and I'd be a shell of myself. And I don't want that for myself. I'd like to fulfill my full function, and that's exciting. I don't want to live in a prison. I didn't commit any crime. They'd like to say this is a crime. Oh, God says you got to be meek and mild. Well, maybe this is my meek and mild. I was going to wear like nipple things and a sheer top, and sometimes I wear this big crinoline skirt, and usually I wear chokers and stuff. But really, meek is for those who want to be meek. And they say, well, this is the one eye. You're trying to, this is evil, this platinum blonde, and you're being God. You're trying to be God. Does God really think I'm trying to be God? I channel God. God inspires me. The reason I have confidence to even wear this and be this is because God inspired me. Otherwise, I'd be like, oh, hell no, I don't want that. Because you get laughed at. You get made fun of. You get like, who the hell do they think they are? It's not like you get accepted necessarily. Some people do. Little children, I was around like 4 or 5 little kids. They came up and they're like, hi, they don't judge. They're like, oh, show me this. I haven't finished my fingernail polish. And I'm like looking at them. They're looking at me. We're not judging. It's innocent. It's innocent. It's the ones that want to be better, want to feel better. Oh, you got all that on? Nasty. I'm humble. This, God doesn't approve of this. Says who? Oh, it's in a book. It's written in this book, this paper. It's written down. It's God's word. Says who? You say it's God's word? Some of it's God's word, like don't kill, forgive, don't be adulterous. Interesting that the very people that are pushing this narrative are adulterers. And they are, like, they're hypocrites. Like they say, be meek, but I'll drive this big, expensive, glamorous car and have this big watch that's really expensive and wear these really expensive cowboy boots. But you be meek because you're a woman. You know, it's like, whoa, what's okay for me is not okay for you. So, yeah, I'm excited. I've got my, I want to brush my fake hair. Where'd it go? It says, amazing women never go out of style. So this is a kind of 50s Barbie's doll style. My sister sent me this card. And this would be considered for a 60-year woman. No, you can't wear your hair in a ponytail, high ponytail. Get it down low, cut it off. Don't wear a big fluffy dress and don't pull your waist in tight. And don't, says who? Don't wear high heels. You're old now. Really? I got to stop living because I turned 60? I don't think so. And I don't think you think so either. And if you do, that's fine. We can agree to disagree. So let's see, can I brush my Barbie doll hair? When you played with a Barbie doll, what'd you do? I was a troubled child. I whacked it until the head came off with my sister and we giggled like crazy. Mainly we were just having fun because we knew we weren't supposed to. We didn't want to be Barbies. We wanted to be boys. And how did I end up like this? I guess God had a different choice. Thank God they didn't have sex changes I would have gotten one. You know, now parents are forced to let their children have sex changes. Sad, sad, sad. Horrific. I'd be a man with a little beard, just this little 60-year-old man trying to be a big macho man with a phallus. What the hell? A dildo? Just so horrific. So I'm glad that I didn't turn into a boy. I'm glad that I don't have to be meek, that there's no law that says you must be meek. This is a Nazi regime, communist country, and you must have your meek hairstyle. And you must submit to your man, and you are not an equal. We've got to rewrite and rethink, even if it is in the Bible. Even God upgrades the manual. And like Jesus died on the cross and sacrificed himself, and we have to drink the blood. It's like that. We don't even know that really happened. A lot of people say no. A lot of people say no. Jesus lived, had children, and the Jesus bloodline goes on. Go to the Instagram. Go to the Sacred Blue Tent. They're good people. Tell them that Debu Love said hi. Tell them Debu said hi. Okay, that's it for now. Love and light, sweets. Love and light. It's a good day. It's a good day in Debu Love Land where all your dreams come true because God is at the helm. God is my stylist, okay? God is my stylist. When God's your stylist, you can't go wrong. Yep, when somebody else tries to put their style on you, it never works because it's not you. You have to vibrate with your authenticity. And if your authenticity is a Barbie doll, 60-year-old Barbie doll, then vibe that out, and you be you. Has anybody told you they love you today? I love you. I do. Bye. Bye, you guys.